My name's Richard.
Richard.
Richard Francis.
Richard Francis. This is Richard Francis.
I'm Richard from the musical act, Not These Tones.
Mm-hmm.
That is my baby.
It's your baby. How long has it been your baby?
It's been gestating for about 5 years now.
5 years.
6 years even. Long gestation period.
So it's an elephant or something?
Bigger than an elephant, mate.
A whale? Blue whale?
Outer space, baby.
Ah, space whale.
Monster, space whale, something
Nice.
like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a taste for what it's going to sound like already.
Right. What's the new album called?
Wow, it's a good name. I haven't said it yet.
Mm.
Sorry. It's called Obsolete.
Mm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I'm obsolete.
Yeah?
We're all obsolete.
Okay. Is this the theme?
It's certainly an
Running through the
underlying theme, yeah. There are many themes, but it became clear to me quite late in the process that this theme of I'm interested in the idea of planned obsolescence, and we're very very involved in all of our gear and all of our tech these days.
Oh, yeah.
And as I'm working with my headphones in the zone, I'm constantly feeling the pressure of when's this one going to break? When's this one going to break? And then I have to buy a new one. And so it's like all the time in the edit, it's a race against the clock. I'm thinking the more times you do things, getting closer and closer to the moment, it's going to fall apart. I feel like I can extrapolate that to my worldview in terms of a variety of issues.
Might I ask, is not backing up part of the artistic process?
Not. I've always said that a true artist never backs up his work.
Mm-hmm.
Backing up is for fakers and phonies.
Van Gogh didn't
No, he didn't back up.
You ripped them to shreds.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. You put that right in the recycle bin.
Yep. Yep. No, I mean, let's be clear. Of course I back up my work. It's a feeling of just ever drawing in, coming closer and closer to the moment when something becomes obsolete. Everything becomes obsolete at ever increasing rates now, more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's within, we've got the new phones all the time. That's an old one, but
Yeah, every year, if not every 8 months.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All this stuff that you think is brand shiny new, spanking fresh, it's nothing in a month. And the same is true for art and people. Everything, something we think is meaningful and valuable one month is nothing the next month. So I think a large part of the theme of this album is the transitory nature of modern life.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in some way we've lost our connection, or lost some context, because everything's so fast and we don't know where we're going anymore, and we have this constant sensory overload of the media, the machines shouting at us saying, look at me, oh my god, adverts, listen to the advert, things that you didn't think were adverts before are adverts. Everything's an advert now. There's no escape from this thing. Sometimes I write notes for like lyrics and stuff on my phone, and you get an advert as you're writing. Like,
In the middle of a notation.
there's no escape. So
Yeah, I never had a coupon inside a textbook.
it's true. So yeah, I think this is one of the main underlying themes, and yeah, it's all about this very a duality in my nature, maybe, and in my life. This large, very important, hanging in the background is my transition, because I've gone from living in the suburbs of London, the middle of the nothing, great big nothing, into the greater bigger nothing of the forest in Sweden.
I was wondering if you'd be okay in this biome, because I did some research on your Instagram feet,
Ah, I see.
and you seem quite at home in the ice and the snow.
Ah, that's true. That's a very fine point. In fact, I that that very notion even comes up in some of the lyrics of the album. In a way, I guess I'm frozen in time. I'm afraid of the future, as a lot of people are now, and I feel unable to connect with this constantly moving internet narrative. You don't know what's what anymore. From
It
one day
definitely
to
has
the
a
next.
narrative.
Yeah, it feels like it does, and I can't keep a grip on it. I can't feel connected with anything because I don't want to partake in the game of playing the internet, of being a figure on the internet. So part of my journey has been to move out to this house in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, with no running water, no Wi-Fi, because I'm such a Luddite. And I guess it makes sense in a way that I was trying to find myself in a place where things don't move so fast, where I can feel some more constant steadiness of time. And the frozen wasteland of Sweden is perfect for it. It's not a wasteland, but yeah, I feel very at home in the peace and the quiet.
Why did you retreat to Sweden?
Why? Well, that's a good question, James. It'd been a plan in the making a long time. I always felt like I needed to get away from London. I always had problems with the noise. I'm very sensitive to noise. As a musician, I hate loud noise. I have to be very careful. And I always found myself, very anxious and hemmed in by just the constant traffic drone and the non-stop movement of the city. I always knew I had to escape to find some peace in myself. It just so happens that my partner, she had a similar feeling and always dreamt of living in the pine trees on a hill somewhere. And over the course of a few years, we sort of found our way. And then eventually we found this little house in the middle of nowhere in the forest, on top of a hill. No neighbours, no noise. We had to go for it. It's like, never going to be free if I don't try this at least and see how it goes. And then one day we wake up and find ourselves completely alone in the middle of a forest. And it's bliss, and it's also staring into the abyss.
Yeah. Say, coming free is the freedom to fuck up royally,
Yeah,
as well
radical freedom.
as to gain independence.
Yep, certainly gained independence, but also to have to learn to live with the silence as well, and the simple things of carrying buckets of water from the well. This sort of daily, repetitive, essential acts to keep us going, which in our upbringing, coming from London, completely anathema to us, completely alien to everything we've ever known, and to everything that our families and the people we know are used to. It was a necessary learning process to become more at peace with ourselves. Not so scared and confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a it was an important process for me, and it's informed my work to the deepest of levels. And I think hopefully it shines through in the album. You can see this duality of the two worlds I've inhabited and the two worlds I inhabit within the music. There's a lot of nice pastoral acoustic guitar and field recordings of forest sounds and stuff like this in the album, which are juxtaposed with the electronic banging beats and all that lark. So yeah, I've been trying to express these two different worlds and my transition from one to another. And then this idea of obsolescence came to me right towards the end of the process, when I'd been looking at some of the lyrics I'd written and realised, accidentally, there are two different songs where I mention about becoming obsolete. And I hadn't realised, and I thought, oh, shit, okay, I've messed up, I've got to change this. Then I thought, wait a second, there's a theme there. And then I looked back at all of it and I thought, okay, this really ties it all together. Because throughout this long gestation period, I'd been trying to merge these two worlds, and it always felt like there was a separation, like there was a barrier. And at many points I thought, should I make this two separate works? Should I have, the more acoustic pastoral thing and the more electronic idea? But then this thing kind of cut right through the middle. And for me, I think it gave the whole thing meaning that I didn't know was there. I guess I'm worried about becoming obsolete, like we all are in some way. I'm getting older. That's one of the very first lyrical notes that I touch on in the album. Yeah, and I guess it's a it's a coming of age story, a Bildungsroman, I believe it's called. I'm such a
Say that again.
A Bildungsroman. German term for a coming of age story, I believe.
Right.
I think I've got that right.
I've never heard that, even in passing.
Yeah, it's the first, like The Catcher in the Rye and things like this. Yeah, I guess in a way this album is that for me. It's taken a good 3 years to make, and during 3 very pivotal years of my life, I've gone from being a kid, really, even though I was 25 or so.
Yeah, and living in the woods.
Yeah. And the whole process has been a coming of age story for me, learning to accept myself. And
Yeah, I think you've changed a lot.
thank you. That's interesting because you didn't meet me until like half an hour ago.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's an interesting point. I agree. I think I have. I'm a completely different person to who I was before I left London. When I left this place, I was definitely angrier.
wound up, for sure.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
would come out in
Pent
different
up.
ways.
I was definitely pent up, and I was frustrated, and I didn't feel like I was myself, really.
Left my senses out in the cold, losing days and I'm getting old, slipping slowly out from the shore. Send me signals.